Monsters and Dogs. Thank you for coming out on a Friday night. I hope you had a good and safe time last night with New Year's. And I'm trying to get to the menu, and it keeps. Excuse me. Gonna get that air bubble out. It keeps sending me back because I wasn't getting to the menu. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. All right. So thank you for coming out on this Friday. I hope everybody had a great New Year's Eve, or at least a pleasant and not overwhelmingly depressing New Year's Eve. I hope nothing went wrong, that everybody you know and love made it home safe and sound and had a good time, and you know that whatever may be happening in your life, that 2016 will be good to you, will be kind, will be gentle, that it will be a friend to you as you are a friend to Monsters and Dogs. And so I thought I would start this off a little bit, just give everybody kind of warmed up, everybody loosened up a little bit by talking about Evangelion. So the Evangelion Rebuild has come out in Japan. All three main episodes of it are now out in Japan, and the third one is set to be released here in North America in early February 2nd. So I started doing a little bit of pre-research because people have been asking me about, like, hey, what are your thoughts on Rebuild ever since my End of Evangelion episode came out? And I said at the time, you know, I was probably going to wait for all three episodes to come out, and now we are on the cusp of that. So I'm looking into it, and I've been poking around, and of course I have been reminded of one of the things that has always sort of frustrated me about the Evangelion fandom, the Evangelion community, and that is, you know, Evangelion is good. It is good. It's actually a high quality product. It's a well written, high quality product that deserves to have a good and passionate fan base. It is, you know, a labor of love. It is, you know, it goes beyond just being simplistic. And so you do have all of that, but at the same time, there is a level of depth. I don't want to say depth. Depth is the wrong word to use. There's a level of sanctity that many in the Evangelion fanbase imbue the property with, that goes so far beyond what it actually is. And maybe I will say, like, here's a loaded word, and I will definitely find a better word for the future when I talk about this, but there is sort of a level of depth that people attribute to it that is not necessarily there. And I mentioned this in the review, and this is sort of the big one for me, or the big sign of this for me, is the whole thing about the way that it uses religion, the way that it utilizes Judeo-Christian, apocryphal mythology in order to tell its story. That us in the West, we project meaning onto that because those trappings already have meaning for us. You know, they are part of the background of our culture, and so thus we read what we know about those into it. Though this becomes one of those sort of great conflicts about between the intent of the creator and the messages that the viewers get, and it is for this reason that I don't usually try to go too hard on these people, but we know very much that the cultural context that Evangelion comes out of, they pulled that stuff out because to them, it's cool. And the example that I used in the episode that I still stand by, I think this is a great example, is that they use our mythology in the same way that we use much of our own no longer mainstream mythology, such as, you know, the Norse pantheon, the Hellenistic pantheon. You know, that we look at the legends of Hercules, Heracles. We look at the legends of Heracles not as things of reverence, not as moral tales and parables about the way that we should live our daily lives, and as stories of gods that impact the unfolding of our own fate, but we look at them just as tales and as myths, not even necessarily morality myths. In fact, in many ways, the Hellenistic traditions, a lot of the morality myths, particularly like the stories of Zeus, we just kind of look at those and go like, turning into a goose and getting just, Zeus we kind of steer away from. Like, it's not something we would necessarily want to emulate. That it's like, what is the message to learn from Zeus going around banging everything? It's not something that we consider terribly relevant to us in modernity, so we pillage that mythology for parts, and we recycle Thor, we recycle Odin. They're just names that we use. They're vague ideas that we pull out whenever we want something to just have a certain kind of flavor. And that's the thing that is kind of going on with, like, that is exactly what is going on with Evangelion's use of that Christian imagery. And so, while I don't necessarily blame people who that then speaks to, I do, however, kind of go like, maybe back up a bit, because maybe for me the thing is that keeping in mind that they are using that largely as flavor, that to me is more interesting and says more about the product and has a richer meaning than just back reading what we believe into those things. Because what I found, and maybe this is me projecting, but what I found back in high school when Evangelion was like really big and everyone was trying to dissect it, is they would go through very meticulously and attempt to make everything agree. That here we have our myths, which are the origins of these words and the origins of these ideas and themes, and it would be like, okay, now make Evangelion, a derivative product, agree with these originals and make everything line back up. And that I found to be a misplaced effort. I don't think it yielded anything terribly worthwhile, and often kind of missed the point, because it becomes sort of an end in and of itself. That you end up just kind of chasing minutia and chasing trivia and trying to make trivia agree, rather than actually looking at the human messages of the material itself. And that's a trap with a lot of fandom, and that's a trap with a lot of fiction, that it's super easy to get bogged down in, like, oh well, Star Wars, like, where was every character at what time in this 80,000 pages of expanded universe stuff, and could they have arrived in time because this technical manual says that the engines of a Corellian freighter only have this much output, and so really they couldn't have arrived there in time. And it's like, well, you're now taking a fictional universe and you're trying to extrapolate, like, you're not really engaging with it, you're just trying to create rules out of it. And that's that's a thing that I'm just being reminded of that as I do a little bit of pre-research into Rebuild, and I thought I would come up with that, or that I would mention that again, because it's something that's on my mind. And maybe, if you disagree, if you think that I'm completely off base here, and that level of minutia is worthwhile, make that argument, and I will read it, and I will consider my stance, and I will probably soften on this a little bit as I go over it. I tend to have a stronger reaction when I first come across stuff, and then I back off as I talk myself through it, because I like to talk about my own counterpoints. I like to, basically be my own devil's advocate, be my own, like, well, what if they do have a point? And then it's like, all right, Dan, back off. Maybe soften up on this a little bit, and don't be so hard on yourself and others, and don't be so hard line. And that's how you develop nuance. And so it's a good thing. And yeah, I think that's enough rambling. That's enough rambling about Evangelion, because we're here for Undertale. We are here to be a friend to monsters and dogs. We are here to be the best Temmie we can be. We are here for the Endening. It is the Endening. So, as a catch-up for those of you who haven't been here for the 2 previous streams, I have completed the game the first time through, the first loop. So we have seen the neutral ending, and we are now in the special loop immediately after that, where we can then go back and do the extra requirements in order to get the true pacifist ending. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. We finished up just a couple of the first stuff, the first few tasks, and we're now getting into kind of the heart of it. I didn't go and do any extra like cash grinding in between. I know I said I might, but I didn't because I've been busy with various stuff and the holidays and just having a little bit of fun. So there we are. That's where we're at. Let's go. I need to remind myself what the keys are, because that's a thing that I do. And I can't get into the lab, and I thought I was going to be able to go right into the lab. Did I not understand? So I've got the package from... Alright, I have... Yes, alright, I have Undyne's letter. And I'm supposed to take it to the doctor, but I can't get into her lab, and should I just read it? I don't know if I should just read it. Well, let's just press Z in front of the door. That's Alphys's house. Hey, why don't we all go over and watch anime? Anime? Is it that kind of cartoon for small children? Oh my god! Anime isn't just for kids, it's deep. It's oh man, this was totally relevant. This was super relevant. There we go. I am retconning my own lead-in rant to be relevant to this. Is the sound a baby makes an emotion. Yeah, because it's how I'm feeling right now. Okay. Slide the letter under? Yes. Give it a knock. Oh, Dr. Alphys. Read it. Read it. Read it. It's shotgun. That sounds kind of industrial. Did you write? Hey, what's this? Oh no, that's adorable, and I had no idea you. Oh man. Well, this is a case of mistaken identity. Do we get a chance to correct her, or is she just gonna talk right over us? You'll do it. It's the least I can do to make it up to you. Yeah, let's go on a date. Woo! Dating start. Dating a dinosaur. Aw, totes adorbs. Say sense. Let's do this thing. Hey, what? Oh. We still can't start the date yet. Dating stop? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Anime was a mistake. Anime was a mistake. I realize this is more like dating sims, but dating sims and anime. Some waterproof cream for my scales. Yeah. Yeah, let's date. Oh, that's a Huh. That's a loaded question right there. You know what? Let's say yes, because otherwise she will have nothing to talk about. Let's go to the garbage. That's a great place to go. That's a go. Yeah, here we are. Here we are at the garbage dump. All the time. You find all sorts of great stuff here. Yep. If you deliver that thing, it might be a bad idea. So I'm gonna do it. Give it to me. Nope. Yep. Hmm. It does sound kind of bad, but, you know, Undyne's the person I really want to go on a date with. But I mean, she's way out of my league. No, she's not! Don't say that about yourself. You are worth her because she's got a lot of her own problems, but your problems aren't necessarily deal breakers. She's got her problems and you got your problems, and you can work through them because you're both worthwhile, and you have good things about yourselves that you're both a catch, but you both need fixing. You're human, aside from one of you being a dinosaur and the other being a fish. And you like each other, so, go on, you crazy kids. You can make it work. Tell her the truth. No, she won't, because she respects you. That's a really good point. That is actually a really good point. No, that's the wrong conclusion to draw from that. But you made a good point about it being a bad idea to be yourself if you hate yourself, but you're drawing the wrong conclusion from it. See, that's the thing you need to work on. How can you practice? You can practice. There we go. Let's role play it. You tell me. So I'll be Undyne. You be you. I'll be Undyne. Obviously, yeah. Ah. Yeah. What happens if you go, like, super aggressive? You always listen to me when I talk about nerdy stuff. You always do your best to make me feel special. Tell me that you'll beat up anyone that gets in my way. I know it takes a lot. There you go. Problem solved. Yeah, no, that is a fair response. Yeah. Come on. You can do it. No. Alright. I was just eating Frogan's yogurt in my pajamas. There we go. I really think you're neat, okay? Aww. Is she gonna choke slam her? Yeah! Get dunked. I don't care if you're watching kid cartoons or reading history books. At maximum power. If this is anything like the cooking, it's gonna be just the best. You're gonna train me. Yes. What? Oh, even better. Yeah. Oh, this just keeps getting Wait, what? Jogloy? What? Anime is not real. Yes, you can survive this Undyne. You do have to be strong for Alphys. You're welcome. See if you can survive a world in which anime is not real. Oh, that was the best. Jog Boy, that's what it says. Okay, Jog Boy. At first I thought it said Jogology, which is a pretty funny joke, but it doesn't say Jogology. Desperate claw marks cover. Very early, so I sent her home. Very home. I feel strongly and for no apparent reason. You should also go there, to her lab. House. I have only good feelings about this. Goodbye. Oh man, I so want to do a Papyrus cosplay. I love his speech pad. It resonates with me. Jogology better be your new ska album. Ride in the boat. Where will we go? We are going to Hotland. Tra-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la. Anime isn't real. Anime is a mistake. Delete anime. There we go. Someone tell me what that is. Someone linked an image in the chat, but I can't see it because I'd have to tab away to click on it. And I'm not going to do that. But I am going to... Oh, I can't take more instant noodles. Oh, wait, what is the dog food? It's a note. Read it. Hey, thanks for your help back there. You guys, your support really means a lot to me, but as difficult as it is to say this, you guys alone can't magically make my own problems go away. I mean, yeah, we know. I want to be a better person. I don't want to be afraid anymore. And for that to happen, I have to be able to face my own mistakes. I'm going to start doing that now. I want to be clear. This isn't anyone else's problem but mine. Don't ever hear from me again. If you want to know the truth, enter the door to the north of this note. You all at least deserve to know what I did. Given that she made a human-killing robot, this might actually be a problem. Yeah, we might have to... I don't know if I'm ready for this level of anarchy. Entry number 1. This is it. Time to do what the king has asked me to do. I will create the power to free us all. I will unleash the power of the soul. The barrier is locked by soul power. Unfortunately, this power cannot be recreated artificially. Soul power can only be derived from what was once living. So, to create more, we will have to use what we have now. Oh no. Oh no. The souls of most monsters disappear immediately on death. If only I could make a monster's soul last. Tree number 5. I've done it. Oh no. Using the blueprints, I've extracted it from the human souls. I believe this is what gives their souls the strength to persist after death, the will to keep living, the resolve to change fate. Let's call this power determination. There's a note on the ground. You can't make it all out. Elevator, lost power. Enter the center door. That's all you could read. The true laboratory. Oh. Sure. Oh, we got some chisps. Asgore asked everyone out to the cities for monsters that had fallen down. Their bodies came in today. They're still comatose, and soon they'll all turn into dust. But what happens if I inject determination into them? If their souls persist after they perish, then freedom might be closer than we all thought. Number 9, things aren't going well. None of the bodies have turned into dust, so I can't get the souls. I told the families that I would give them the dust back for the funerals. People are starting to ask me what's happening. What do I do? Oh. Do I back up? I think I want to back up. I think... Okay, because there was... Oh wait, no, I was going... Oh, the power's out. Okay, I was going the right way. The power's out, so I can't get in there or the other door. I do need to go this way and just... Okay. Drain, dropped it. That's all you could read. red colored slot in the center. But nobody came. Smells like batteries. Memory head. Oh. I am pretty sure I know what these are. And alright, become one of us, come join the fun. That feels like a bad idea. Let's... Node came. That's a shame. Oh, that sped up pretty... Oh! Oh, that got us that. Okay. Okay. And there's a red key, which... perfectly into the slot. Red switch is being turned on. Oh, okay. And then the back at the door back here, there was 4 things. Yes. Okay. So we need to go through each of those because this should give us the red door open, and so we need to do 3 more. All right. Entry 12. Nothing is happening. I don't know what to do. I'll just keep injecting everything with determination. I want this to work. Entry number 13. One of the bodies opened its eyes. It's an empty dog food bowl. Sure. I feel like that's a terrible idea, but... What could go wrong? What's the worst that can happen? There's a such creepy hug just hovering over me. It's a bad touch. Entry 14. Everyone that had fallen down has woken up. They're all walking around and talking like nothing is wrong. I thought they were goners. Entry 15. Seems like this research was a dead end, but at least we got a happy ending out of it. I sent the souls in the vessel back to Asgore, and I called all of the families and told them everyone's alive. I'll send everyone back tomorrow. Happy face. Entry 16. No, 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 no. Hello, green key. I put it on my keychain. Entry 11. Now that Mettaton's made it big, he never talks to me anymore, except to ask when I'm going to finish his body. But I'm afraid if I finish his body, he won't need me anymore. Then we'll never be friends ever again. Not to mention, every time I try to work on it, I just get really sweaty. That's a lot of fans. Wait, was there more down? Oh wait, there's a switch. It's all the dogs. Yay! Amalgamate is twitching affectionately. A stage 1 happiness froth. Yay. Oh, there we go. Androgyny is contented. That's freaky. We are still a friend of all dogs. You're not a safe point, you're a ghost. You're not a safe point, you're a ghost. Smells like sweet lemons. You are lemon bread. Nobody can. Ah, God. Oh, oh, that. I will stay determined. I don't know how. But I will figure it out. Okay, those are already on. So, endogeny. Mistakes were made. Additional dog does not make it any less dog. This is accurate. Wow, that's actually really hard. Let's... Honestly, I'm really bad at that one. Wow. Yeah, lemon bread, lemon bread ain't playing around. Lemon bread's the newest member of the Wu-Tang Clan. There's a note on the ground, you can't make it all out. Under sheets, that's all you could read. I don't have the yellow. They seem to be labeled in a specific order. Will you watch one? I want to get your reaction. Gory, dearest. What is my favorite vegetable? Carrots, right? No. My favorite vegetable is edamame. Get it? Go back to bed, dear. No, not yet. Now, if I were a dog, what breed of dog would I be? I don't know, honey. What kind of dog would you be? I would be a Pomeranian. Oh, you sure are excited to have this child. You know, if you keep making jokes like this, one day you could be a famous Mommedian. I'm going to bed. Hey, come on. Talk. Howdy, Santa. Smile for the camera. Hi, this time I got you. I left the cap on purpose. Now you're smiling for no reason. Oh yeah, I remember. When we tried to make butterscotch pie for Dad, right? Wait, what? I don't like this plan anymore. Entry number 4. I've been researching humans to see if I can find any info about their souls. I ended up snooping around the castle and found these weird tapes. I don't feel like Asgore's watched them. I don't think he should. Oh, God. Ah. Oh. Frick. Oh, frick. Where is it gonna send me? Oh. Well, I guess okay, all of the info on those tapes is for the player. I didn't literally unlock anything there, so I don't. Yeah, because there's just the yellow key. Now, I went and fought that monster at the end of the other hallway, but I didn't get anything. So I'm assuming that that's just kind of, it is what it is. Frick! God damn! Let me remember something. You felt this before. Don't. That was really hard. Could this be goodbye? Yes, 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 yes. Damn, that was... Eesh. Woof. DT extraction machine status inactive. I don't like you, machine. You are scary looking, and I do not like you. The families keep calling me to ask when everyone is coming home. What am I supposed to say? I don't even answer the phone anymore. It's a refrigerator. It's empty. It's a refrigerator. It seems to contain samples of some kind. Entry number 20. Asgore left me 5 messages today. 4 about everyone being angry. 1 about this cute teacup he found that looks like me. Thanks, Asgore. It's a refrigerator. It's empty. Entry number 21. I got my eye on you, fridge. I spend all my time at the garbage dump now. It's my element. I don't trust you, fridge. Stop shaking. It's a refrigerator. It seems to contain samples of some kind. It's a refrigerator. It's empty. It's a ghost. It's a horrifying ghost. It's so cold. It's hello, amalgamate. Let's joke. So the bad pun about snow, her expression starts to shift. I remember... It's so funny. You can't stop. Tears run down your face. You... Snowy. I feel bad. Thank you. There's a note on the ground. You can't make it all out. Curtain. That's all you could read. Click. The green key. It's not empty. Damn you, fridge. Damn you. I got my eye on you, fridge. Oh, freaking DT machine. Alright. Yellow switch, but I don't have the yellow key. Yellow colored slot. Yeah, don't have the yellow key. That's where I got the green key. Oh wait, am I out of... Or... Oh, am I just kind of failing at keeping going? Yeah, I'm gonna back up and save. I'm gonna back up and save, and... Oh, right, there's that, Okay, now, one thing I do need to check. Is there... Can I keep going past the end of the hall here with the fans? No, I cannot. No, I can't. So I fought the ghost. I turned the fans down, I fought the ghost. But then I can't do anything else there. So I've got to go... Entry number 7. We'll need a vessel to wield the monster souls when the time comes. After all, a monster cannot absorb the souls of other monsters, just as humans cannot absorb a human soul. So then, what about something that's neither human nor monster? Entry number 10. Experiments on the vessel are a failure. It doesn't seem to be any different from the control cases. Whatever. They're a hassle to work with anyway. The seeds just stick to you and won't let go. Oh. Frick. Nothing happens. Did that just did... Oh, oh God. Oh. No, 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 no. That I can deal with. That I can deal with. I can... Yeah. Christmas is canceled. Santa can't handle it. Do I have to watch that again? There's a note on the ground. You can't make it all out. Cold. That's all you could read. Right, so where's yellow? Okay. Yeah, I feel like it might be, because I feel like it might be one of the beds. Because I hear, yeah, because I heard the clicking noise. There we go. It's a yellow key. Not there. It's up in here, and this should be number 4. The yellow key fits perfectly. And then I want to go back down to the main door, because that should be all 4. Yes, that is all 4. So let's use this just because and go through here and see what vast horrors await us. Seems to be turned off. Seems to be turned off. And it seems like this controls the elevator's power. Turn it on. Yes. Hello, everybody. guys some food, okay? The dog food. Sorry about that. They get kind of sassy when they don't get fed on time. I think they smelled the potato chips you had, and anyway, the power went out and I've been trying to turn it back on. But it seemed like you were one step ahead of me. This was probably just a big inconvenience for you. But I appreciate that you came here to back me up. As I said, I was afraid I might not come back. But that's not because of these guys or anything. I was just worried I would be too afraid to tell the truth. That I might run away or do something cowardly. I suppose I owe you an explanation. As you probably know, Hasgor asked me to study the nature of souls. During my research, I isolated a power called determination. I injected it into dying monsters so their souls would last after death, but the experiment failed. You see, unlike humans, monsters' bodies don't have enough physical matter to take those concentrations of determination. Their bodies started to melt and lost what physicality they had. Pretty soon, all of the test subjects had melted together into those. Seeing them like this, I knew I couldn't tell their families about it. I couldn't tell anyone about it, no matter how much everyone was asking me. And I was too afraid to do any more work, knowing everything I'd done so far had been such a horrific failure. But now I've changed my mind about all this. I'm going to tell everyone what I've done. It's going to be hard, being honest, believing in myself. I'm sure there will be times where I'll struggle. I'm sure there will be times where I screw up again. But knowing, deep down, that I have friends to fall back on, I know it'll be a lot easier to stand on my own. Thank you. Come on, guys. It's time for everyone to go home. Ring. It's a voice you have never heard before. Are you there? It's been a long time, hasn't it? But you've done well. Thanks to you, everything has fallen into place. Santa, see you soon. Wait, I just missed something really important? Well, what if I... Oh, the screens! Oh, the screens were off. Now they're on. What if I... Let's try this. Oh, now I need to go through all that again. Oh, wait, no, there we go. No, wait. No. I'm dumb. I'm a dumb. I am such a dumb. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll get that cursor out of the way. And... But now we just need to... Alright. I'm gonna do the uncouth thing and just blow through all the dialogue. We'll just... We literally just read all this, and it's a lot to read, and it's very touching, but it's a lot to read. There we go. Okay. We'll just now pretend that the last, like, couple minutes, the last, like, 2 minutes didn't happen. Ah, I didn't notice that. Entry number 8. I've chosen a candidate. I haven't told Asgore yet, because I want to surprise him with it. In the center of his garden, there's something special. The first golden flower that grew before all the others. The flower from the outside world. It appeared just before the queen left. I wonder, what happens when something without a soul gains the will to live? Entry number 18. The flower's gone. Everything has fallen into place. Okay, so we can still make use of that elevator. Well, I don't know if this will make more sense. I had already pieced that together. Like, I'd already pieced together that Flowey was the vessel that they had built to hold all of the monster souls. Oh, right here. Help yourself to anything you want. I suppose nothing's really... Old calendar from the end of 21. Date is circled on that. I don't want the knife. Okay, it looks like all of this is still the same. Which, I mean, if there was the one box that was literally still like closed and the other one open, then that's a pretty good indicator. I should just, yeah. And I'm wondering what's going to be different. I don't know what's going to be different. I got to give it to this game. It has done a very, very good job of actually keeping me surprised. Yeah. I think, yeah, I think this is where we're at. And I feel like there's something I've missed, but I couldn't tell you what it was. I would just end up wandering around, like going back and talking to like everyone. So I think this is where we're at. I'm filled with determination. It was nice to meet you. Goodbye. Toriel. Do not be afraid, my child. It is I, Toriel, your friend and guardian. At first, I thought I would let you make your journey alone, but I could not stop worrying about you. Your adventure must have been so treacherous, and ultimately, it would burden you with a horrible choice. To leave this place, you would have to take the life of another person. You would have to defeat Asgore. However, I realized I cannot allow that. It is not right to sacrifice someone simply to let someone leave here. Is that not what I have been trying to prevent this whole time? So, for now, let us suspend this battle. As terrible as Asgore is, he deserves mercy too. Tori, you came back. Do not Tori me, dreamer. You pathetic whelp. If you really wanted to free our kind, you could have gone through the barrier after you got one soul, taken 6 souls from the humans, then come back and freed everyone peacefully. But instead, you made everyone live in despair because you would rather wait here, meekly hoping another human never comes. You're right. I'm a miserable creature, but do you think we can at least be friends again? No, Asgore. Ah? Human? Nobody fight each other. Everyone's gonna make friends or else I'll... Hello, I am Toriel. Are you the human's friend? It is nice to meet you. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Asgore, is that your ex? Jeez, that's rough, buddy. Nobody hurt each other. There's 2 of them. If anyone fights anyone, then I'll be forced to ask Undyne for help. Oh, hello, your majesty. Psst. Hey, human. Did Asgore shave and clone himself? Hey guys, what's up? I think we may know each other. I recognize your voice too. I am Toriel. So nice to meet you. The name's Sans. And same. Greetings, Papyrus. It is so nice to finally meet you. Your brother has told me so much about you.
Wowie! I can't believe Asgore's clone knows who I am. This is the best day of my life.
What does a skeleton tile his roof with?
Snow-proof roof tiles?
No, silly. A skeleton tiles his roof with shingles.
I changed my mind. This is the
Worst day of my life. It's going to be okay. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah, Asgore, Undyne's totally right about that fish thing. Sometimes you just gotta stop going after furry boss monsters and just get to know a really cute fish. It's a metaphor. I think it's a good analogy.
Yeah, that's just...
Is she gonna die of embarrassment? She is going to implode. She is going to implode. Yeah! Anyway, if I got here before you, how did you know how to call everybody?
Let's just say a tiny flower helped me.
Alright, Flowey. Bring it. If you win, you won't want to play with me anymore. And what would I do then? But this game between us will never end. I'll hold victory in front of you just within your reach, and then tear it away just before you grasp it. Over and over and over. Listen, if you do defeat me, I'll give you your happy ending. I'll bring your friends back. I'll destroy the barrier. Everyone will finally be satisfied. But that won't happen. I'll keep you here no matter what. No matter what happens, we will always be there to protect you.
Bones will speak. That's right, human. You can win. Just do what I would do. Believe in you!
You have to stay determined. Frick. Your determination, the power that let you get this far, is gonna be your downfall. Ezra Reddy's Hyper Goner. Let's hope I got a decent amount of hit points. It's time to purge this timeline once and for all. Oh. Every time you die, your friends forget you a little more. Your life will end here in a world where no one remembers you. I feel like I did okay-ish up to this point. I mean, I made it to this phase with only one death once I got to this phase. So, I'll show you my determination. It's so good. It's so good. I am so determined. nerd out. I'm saving tutorial for last. Oh, they're at the same time. Yeah. Okay. dog will give me time to recompose. Oh, this game became a fave hours ago. Hours ago. Hours and hours ago. Because they'll make fun of me. I feel like I played a hand in everyone getting free somehow, even if it was just working this awful job. I think I did something. Now I'm really I really wish that I had taken the time to grind and send Temmie to college. That's pretty chill, I guess. Well, we said we're hyped for the destruction of humanity. We were just joking, you know. Probably. It's practically our catchphrase. Bread is the best, cat is... Now that we're gonna be free... Dogs are just firm cats. Guess we'll have to get used to love and peace. He seems happy. He's still happy. That's good. Oh, I should still have dog residue. But yeah, I got plenty of dog residue. Sans and Elphys are teaching me how to text. I am learning so much. For example, do you know what a smiley is? Please look at this. Now turn your head to the left. It is a picture of me smiling at you. Can you see it? It stands for lots of laughter. Sincerely, Toriel. That's all for now. Maybe in the next room you'll receive another. There's... Oh wait, no. There's goat horns and everything. All right, I'm getting myself recomposed. Soon I'll be able to actually talk properly, but for now I'm just gonna kind of soak it in. I'm just gonna, you know, I remember it clearly now. It was the monthly address of the castle, and the queen was giving her part on current events. After finishing her update, she moved to pass the microphone to the king. However, she didn't realize the microphone was still in her hands when she said, "Your turn, Fluffy Buns." The audience burst into laughter. Realizing what she had said, she started laughing too. After a few moments, the king held up his arms. The crowd grew silent. He leaned towards the microphone, expression stern. "Dear citizens, thank you for coming here today. I, King Fluffy Buns, and the rest is history." Is Asgore a goat? Goat. Actually, that reminds me. Toriel once wore a flower-patterned muumuu. Folks kept saying nice muumuu to her, but she kept thinking they were calling her a cow, so she never wore it again. What was the question again? Oh, right, Asgore. He's a real interesting type of monster. The strongest type of all. We call them boss monsters. When they have an offspring, the soul power of the parents flows into the child, causing the child to grow as the parents age. That is, Asgore doesn't have a child, so he's been stuck at the same age and probably will be forever. Huh, what if the child is a human? What? Nah, that wouldn't work, so if Asgore's your father, he'll definitely outlive you. Queen Asgore is the king. It was tragic when she left, since everyone knew she was really the brains behind the throne, but it was also just teensy bit relieving, you know? Those were really insufferable together. Nuzzling noses, being all cute and cuddly in public, embarrassing their children. They were so sweet it made me sick. Thank God those days are over. It's really come a long way since she was a little urchin. Used to be a hero myself back in the old days. Gerson, the hammer of justice. When she was younger and we wore an onion on our belt because that was the style at the time. They say, give me 5 B's for a... Yes, I am gonna go back. I'm working my way to it. I'm working my way to it. Actually, the first thing I want to buy is cloudy glasses. Cloudy glasses. And now oh sweet, the path is lit. think I just accidentally used all my dog residue. Oh, no, wait, no, there's dog residue. You know what? I think it's actually because I think it's actually faster to do the back and forth with the glasses because it's only going to take like 2 or 3 glasses trips. Yeah. We'll get this. We're gonna take a brief grinding moment here. It'll give us a chance to No, that's true. Yeah, I could just sell everything. Wait, I can sell dreams. Oh, frick. I haven't done... Yeah, I have the piece of the snowman, and I haven't done anything with it. I was figuring I would find the spot, but I didn't, I didn't notice a specific spot. Wait, and the abandoned quiche. What was I supposed to do with the quiche? Snowman piece is just for extra dialogue during the normal ending. Well, shit. The quiche is just a full heal. Oh, okay. You got a quiche's gotta have that quiche, but I gotta pay for college. Yeah. Oh, I got it. There we go. I'm at 1,000. There we go. Yay. Defense makes battles too easy. Any battle become easy victories. Tim, they've used our battles will be challenged anymore. But Tim, have solution. Tim will offer us scholarships. If you lose a lot of battles, Tim will lower the price. So if you get a tough battle and feel frustrated, you can buy Tim armor as last resort. But Tim armor's so good, promise to only buy it if you really needs it. Thames studies. He'll tell you all about Thames' deep history. Boy. All right. There we go. It symbolizes my unbridled happiness. The government told me they are willing to transplant me outside. Why didn't you smile at my desk? I smiled! I smiled! Tem not leave, Tem watch egg, Tem will be a happy family. Statue of Tem, very famous, very. Go on the surface, can see. A pleasing development, no? Yeah, Thames can go free. Very good news, very goods. Well, Thames news, very goods. There we go. Hoi, welcome to Thames Village. There we go. We sent Tem to college. Family. Happily family. Did we miss any Thames? I talked to it said waiting for someone to let them out, so that's all I got. Or should I keep talking, try and keep talking to the Temmie? But there he is. The greatest spotlight of all. I suppose I should thank you too, darling. Before fighting you, I had forgotten how fun it was to perform with others. So I've been searching for hot talents to fill my upcoming troupe. So far, Shiren's agreed to be my backup singer, and Napstablook here will be my sound mixer. The three of us performing together. It really feels overdue, doesn't it? Oh, Mediton, I'm a huge fan. Oh, hi, human. I'll never forget when you cheered me on, when I was pretending to sleep. No one had ever had so much faith in my fake sleep. Also, this is awkward, but what's your name? Everyone seems to know it now, except me. Seems like I've been missing out lately. I was just sitting at home listening to tunes. There was a flash of light outside my window. I saw the snails on the farm disappear. Then I heard a knock at the door. The flash of light wanted to come in. I closed the blinds. Now everyone knows your name except for me. Frisk. Oh, I won't forget it. Wait. No, I want to go the long way around. Where? Oh, someone remind me where Onion Sun is from here. Is there? Should I? Right. That takes me to the dump, so I need to take the bird, get a ride from the bird. Yes, ride from the bird and then south. Well, let's talk to... So, mate. Alright. Onion scent? Oh. Does she not come back because I think I broke her heart when I was true about her idea not being very good. So I don't think Onion's gonna come back. That's sad. Well, okay. Wait, where does the ferry take me? Wait. Did I just loop back on myself? No. Ish. Oh, the cheeses? Oh yeah, all the cheeses. Oh, do I need to back up to that cheese? Someone just spoil the cheeses for me. I don't remember where they all are. They're all over the place. Wait, really? You're just gonna tell me about the Echo Flower? You can be free! There's so many tiny things that are scattered all over the place. Oh, okay. If you look at one, you'll get the rest. Well, I'm not that far away. There we go. Having an amorphous, shambling family member is great. They're always moving, so I can see them 100%. Oh, doggo. All of our parents have been combined into one horrible being. That's okay, though. It's really brought our families together. Fart joke from... yeah, okay. Same entity. Does that mean I'm married to my sister? Wait, we're dogs. That stuff's normal. Got it. There's so much news to report, I don't know where to begin. Monsters go free from the underground. Nah, that doesn't have enough pizzazz. How about top 10 monsters you won't believe got freed from the underground? Much better. Last issue. Why don't we just put a big "The End" on the front and call it a day? Welcome to the library. This is the last day we'll be open, so make as much noise as you want. The greatest struggle of my life is all I just saw today's crossword. The rocks? Now we can play monsters and humans with real humans. Double children. They just call it humans and humans. All right. Except we're all moving out of here. peaches and punk cream. Overworld is hot guys and neat drinks. Ooh, I'm ready! Good job. Don't try to catch hot people with a fishing rod. Somewhere you hear a whinny of dismay. Finally won a game of poker against itself. Good job, least dog. Bless your King Queen, the awful thing she'd done. The king felt so bad that he didn't know. He gave her a big hug, then the queen fired her. Now we don't have a royal scientist anymore. That's politics. No, she's cool. She's super cool. It's normal to walk your younger brother on a leash, right? Amalgamates or... I don't want to move. Oh, I'm just kind of realizing though that like, yeah, I want to go all the way back. I mean, it happened to you, right? There was a strange flash and I felt my body being pulled in. Yeah. The ruins have been opened up, and get this, they were opened from the inside. Move my store to the overworld. Haven't planned much more than that, I'm afraid. Alright. Bye now. Come again sometime. Alright. Yeah. There's so many people. Someone has to, right? I hope you are not getting into trouble. Only kidding. LOL. Sincerely, Toriel. P.S. Do not get into trouble. No response. Their phone might be out of batteries. Wait, what? Oh, I just hit the wrong button. Okay. We're all free. Okay, I'll stop lounging around. Does that dog know? It probably doesn't, does it? Where is the artist dog? Oh, hey. Yes, there are. Yeah, little snowbird. Snowbird. Oh yeah, that is the same. Okay, yeah, I guess that is the same dog, and not just a dog that looks the same. Please. It's like a playground
For your mouth. Yeah.
okay. Oh, we're getting there. Yeah, the safe is... I don't remember where the safe... Yeah, this was more or less a blind run. This was a pretty blind run. This was actually a really blind run. She brought my wife back from the dead. My son, he seems happy again. Our family is bigger than ever, now that my wife is combined with 16 other people. Snowy. Mom might have to share her mind with other people now, but she's still my mom, and that's cool, 'cause we're made of ice and stuff. What? It's a joke. Laugh at it. Oh, I'm trying to remember what's north here. Right, fishing pole. Hello, lamp. Just a conveniently shaped lamp. This feels like a really long walk all of a sudden. But here we are. Yeah, that's the. So then you gotta go all the way back. But at least, well, I guess going back is only sort of most of the way back because I also get to. I only need to get to Snowden, which is still a lot of rooms to walk back through. and reloading the save, which I don't remember the last place I saved. Actually, yeah. Wait. This room's fourth frog. As I'm pressing X. Check the wall. Let's... How fast can we check this wall? There we go. There's an ant-sized frog in a crack in the wall. It waves at you. Nope. Looks like cheese has a nibble taken out of it. I should probably not use that save since, you know... Hey, Rock. Grown into a thoughtful and conscientious person. Whether that was for my advice or not, I'm quite proud. Ribbit. We're almost there. We're almost there. Answer, don't you? there's one last thing I feel like I should tell you. Frisk, when Santa and I combined our souls together, the control over our body was actually split between us. They were the one that picked up their own empty body, and then, when we got to the village, they were the one that wanted to use our full power. I was the one that resisted, and then, because of me, well, that's why I ended up a flower. Frisk, this whole time, I've blamed myself for that decision. That's why I adopted that horrible view of the world. Kill or be killed. But now, after meeting you, Frisk, I don't regret that decision anymore. I did the right thing. If I killed those humans, we would have had to wage war against all of humanity, and in the end, everyone went free, right? I still feel kind of sad knowing how long it took, so maybe it wasn't a perfect decision, but you can't regret hard choices your whole life, right? Well, not that I have much of a life left. That's besides the point. Thank you for listening to me. You should really go be with your friends now, okay? Oh, and please, in the future, if you see me, don't think that it's me, okay? I just want you to remember me like this. Someone that was your friend for a little while. There are a lot of flowers out there. I don't remember the last save point I used. Here, one sec. I just need to... It was me. I muted them because they were fake trolling for a little too long. Like that, it wore itself out. Oh, and now they're asking me why did he get muted. Yeah, I think you can figure it out. I was kind of hoping that you'd, just stop with the whole, anal rape jokes and stuff like that, but you didn't, and you've kept going, so you can take a timeout. Oh, did I miss the bake sale? Okay, here, I'll just tell you what they're whispering me for funsies, because then that gets on the stream and everyone can kind of enjoy it even in perpetuity when these go up on YouTube. So, mate, I wasn't doing blank 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 because it got muted out by the language filter. Then in response to my comment about the rape jokes, I said it only 2 times. Here's the thing. That's 2 times too many. So, you may have only made the really kind of lame, offensive, inappropriate joke 2 times, but that's more than 0. So, yeah. Deal with it. Wait, isn't there a river? Is there a... Oh no, there's the snowman. I can feel that piece of me has been well taken care of. The barrier's opened up, then, if it's not too much to ask, could you take that piece of me to the surface? I would really appreciate it. I can do that for you. So people have been wondering about genocide, and I think I am going to. I'm going to do a genocide run, though. I think I'm going to give it a bit of time. I was originally considering starting one on Monday, but I might give it a week before I fire that up. Just kind of give me a little more time to. Kind of digest everything. So, yeah, I think I'm at a point where, I missed. Oh, hey there. An ear piercing. One of the things that struck me, and is super fantastic and wonderful, is that in kind of a way, this is really, overall a story about a community dealing with grief and loss. Like that's the thread that's ultimately running through this, is that there is this communal tragedy that everybody has been collectively working through. Whether they were directly impacted or not, and of course to varying degrees depending on their own personal proximity, but that that it is about how this one tragedy wound up impacting everyone in the community, because it is, everyone in this is connected. Everyone's a family. Everyone kind of knows each other to some degree. So it is a microcosm, and you have this tragedy this inciting tragedy with Azrael and in this case Santa, and your role as the player character is not even necessarily to fix everything, but to give everybody the opportunity to essentially help themselves. Like, you help people help themselves. You help them come to their own internal realizations. And yeah, and that it's ultimately so much more than just you, and it's not even like the greatest character arc isn't even your own. It's that all of these people are able to then figure out how to cope and move on and actually start healing. So oh, there's well, I'm pretty much all the way there now. Every time I pass that elevator, I forget where that elevator goes. Also, I'm like, yeah, it goes straight to the throne room. Oh, I'm farther away than I thought. I was not. Was I halfway? I don't know. I'm losing track. Also, because this is a lot of kind of downtime-ish moments, I'm trying to watch the chat a little bit closer, and people are like sending me a bunch of messages that are trying to tell me things, and I'm splitting my attention, and yeah. But so, we're almost there. It's good. This gives us some meditative time together. We can just kind of sit and ponder and reflect. The game is a walking simulator. I can't judge. I made a walking simulator. Alright, here we go. Hello, Frisk. Alphys upgraded my phone. I'm having a lot of fun with the texting feature. Sans, check out this one. That's brutal.
I can't believe the queen has returned, and also that she's a huge dork. You two are 2 feet away from each other. Why are you texting?
Worry not, Papyrus. We are texting for a good reason.
Why is that?
Well, because we're huge dorks. Yes. Please do not say that. You are not a dork. You are more of a bonehead.
You're less funny coming from her. It's a pity smile.
Do not feel left out. I have been writing messages to you as well. You still have my phone number after all this time, do you not? Yes. How about you go look around before we all go? Seeing how many good friends you've made here, I am almost certain you must have made some more. Okay. Tori was telling me how she made butterscotch pie for you. I should bake it for everyone sometimes.
That sounds really good. Cooking? Can I help?
Can I? On second thought, maybe I'll order a pizza. I don't have time to talk. I'm supposed to be working right now.
But you aren't working.
I know, and it's taking all my concentration. Okay.
How about making me a member of the Royal Guard?
Well, Papyrus, now that the war is over, we might need the Royal Guard anymore.
What? Then what was the point of the humans' quest? They journeyed all that way, and I'm still not a member of the Royal Guard. Truly, this is the worst possible ending.
It seems like you really
Botched your quest, Frisk. But the great Papyrus, will always be your friend.
no matter.
Hey, that's true. Why don't you take a walk around?
Why don't you fly?
It's faster. Yeah, Frisk, why don't you fly?
Sounds a little dangerous, but they can't fly. Not with that attitude.
Take a hike. Hiking is good for your bones.
So, Alphys, what do you want to do now that we're all free? We have the whole world to explore now. Oh, well, of course I'm going to go out and, no, I should be honest. I'm gonna stay inside and watch anime like a total loser.
That's the spirit. Everyone, a celebration to being losers!
Losing to Frisk is the best thing that's ever happened to me, so I'm glad that we... What is it, Asgore? What's an anime? It's a mistake. That is a mistake of a question. Please help me explain what anime is to Asgore. He's like a cartoon, but it's a cartoon with swords. So it's like a cartoon, but with swords? Golly, that sounds neato. Where is this? Where can I see the anime? Oh no. 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 Oh God, no. Ah! Ah! Sure is something, isn't it? Oh, yeah! Wow. And then something with princesses or fighting princesses. Say hi to Nastabluke. Tell him that I said hi too. You gotta tell me, do you think Asgore and Toriel are ever gonna get back together? Yeah. That's what I hope too. Just think about how cute they must be. Yeah. Number 1 ship. Tori and Gory. My old boss and his ex-wife. That sounds a lot less cool all of a sudden. On second thought, maybe I won't write fanfic of real people. Yes! Yes! That is the right decision. That is the correct and right decision. Isn't real life already the greatest fan fiction of all? Don't tell anyone I said that, because I'm gonna post it online. Excited, finally use human internet. Bet they have all sorts of things. Yeah. Of course.
Wait, but I didn't know you knew Sans.
Doesn't everybody? Who the hell is Sans? Who the heck is Sans? Sorry. Why don't you go look for Mediton? He was here for a while, too. He said he had to go somewhere. Yeah. Alright. Sorry about almost trying to take your soul. I feel very bad about it. I hope we can still be pals. Hey, don't worry about it, Asgore. I think everybody's tried to kill Frisk at least once. I see. In that case, I'm not sorry. I just realized, now that we aren't fighting each other, I can finally ask you, would you like a cup of tea? Yes. But I am so happy you said yes. As soon as I can, I will make some more for you. Then we can be great pals. If you're not busy, on nice days you should walk around and have a good time. That's important. Alright. we ready? If you leave here, your adventure will really be over. Your friends will follow you out of the underground. I think I'm ready.
What's that giant ball?
We call that the sun, my friend.
That's the sun. Wowie!
I can't believe I'm finally meeting the sun. I could stand here and watch this for hours. Yes, it is beautiful, is it not? But we should really think about what comes next. Everyone, this is the beginning of a bright new future. An era of peace between humans and monsters. Frisk, I have something to ask of you. Will you act as our ambassador to the humans? Be the ambassador? Yes. Frisk will be the best ambassador, and I, the great Papyrus, will be the best mascot. I will go make a good first impression. Someone's got to keep him from getting into trouble. See you guys. It seems that everyone is quite eager to set off. I don't know. I almost don't want to ask. Everyone is waiting. Alright. Let's see. Snowdrake by Magnolia Porter. Ice Cap by Magnolia Porter. Semi-successful comedian. Thinking about its hat. Okay, so some of these I didn't quite perfect because I'm assuming the yellow tags mean that I got like a perfect or like max solution to whatever their thing is. Hey, dog. Undyed, designed by Toa, armored by Tammy, fashion help. Outfits designed by Toby. Yay! And there was Onya-san. Aaron by Temmie, reluctantly. Moldbug. Idyllic life on the beach. Washua. Temmie. Temmie. That dummy. Shiren. Takey piano lessons. Yeah, I didn't perfect Shiren. I know I missed something with that. Mettaton. Oh, hey, Burger Pants. Tsundere Plane. Vulcan. Finally confesses what I don't. Muffet Spider success with a new bakery. The Royal Guards. Yeah. Use your imagination. Final Frogget and Whimsalot. I fought once and died and then never fought them again because I was able to go around them, so. Magic. Night. Hey there, amalgamates. Living with their families. Asgore. That faceplant. Tutorial. Ready? No! Dang it! Ah! No, I can't. Oh, that's really... There you go. Well, I got some of those once I started actually trying instead of giving up. Oh, dang. Oh, damn you. Damn you and your names. Damn you, credits. Damn you. Oh, you're really hard to dodge. hell? Thoughts? Okay, thoughts. This, this will be some good music for thoughts. Hands down, one of the best games I've ever played. In terms of the complexity of its interaction with the idea of mechanics, and yet the clarity of it. So normally when you get these kinds of games, and there's a little bit here, but normally when you get these kinds of games that do that sort of recursive commentary, like recursive self-commentary and, self-awareness, things like these, like, oh, well, if you exit the game and then restart it at certain points, then things change, or or it will, like, react to things, if you do something and then back up to a save. You end up with choice paralysis. There's so many options that it becomes, or there's so much second guessing that it becomes difficult to actually progress, because you're not sure if you're doing things right or not. Like, it creates too much uncertainty. I think this one manages to strike just a nigh perfect balance between those, so that even though you're aware that is a thing that is going on, even though you're perhaps going to become incidentally aware that is a thing that's going on, it's not it's not constantly hanging over your head, in the sense that, like, you feel like it's like, oh, well, I'm screwing up and I'm missing out. It is still possible to figure out, like, to have at least some confidence in the decisions that you're making. I know that a lot of these other kinds of games, like, I give up on them because it becomes so unclear. Like, are you actually doing something useful? Are you actually moving forward? Are you missing out on too much? And that becomes overwhelming. So a great example is when you reach a fork in the path. You have two different ways that you can go, but it's not certain which one is which. And so a standard tactic from seasoned RPG players, because you don't have any information to make a decision. So a standard tactic from RPG players is to pick one, go until you hit a point that it looks like there's some sort of gating moment, and then back up and go explore the other direction. Toby has built this in a way where, for the most part, like, it's pretty easy to tell which is the way that leads forward and which is the side route. And in the cases where it's not quite so obvious, it's usually intentionally not quite so obvious, because you're going into a more sort of freeform area. So, like, in the later section of the power plant, like the upper level just before the palace, like, there's the giant, grid network of rooms and hallways, and so it's intentional. Like which one you pick doesn't really matter because it's all part of the same complex, and the exits are all on the far side, things like that. But it's doing things like that. It's doing that sort of split path where you have these options of like you can go left or you can go right, except instead of left or right, it is you can choose option A, and then, well, if you back up or if you like bail out and reload, what's going to happen. And for the most part, even when you do those things, they're lightweight enough, like they're small enough that it's not like, oh well, you're ruining a perfect playthrough or you're going to miss out on huge chunks of stuff. It's mostly just like it really is kind of what you would define as an Easter egg. It's light, it's small, it becomes valuable to the people who find them, but the absence is not felt without it. So the moral choice system, like in a lot of ways, and here's sort of a great example that comes from this, is that it places a lot on the player. It places a lot of the impact on the player because there are very few intrinsic motivators or intrinsic punishments. Games, generally speaking, particularly over the last 15 years or so, have been very much about, and mainstream games still are and will be because it's a simple way of doing it. They are about self-contained motivators. That you do something and you get more points, or you do something and you complete a level. Undertale is very much about extrinsic motivators, particularly ones that are super, super extrinsic, that your moral judgment, or the way that the game judges your morality, is purely based on how, on the actual consequences that you feel. Because the idea of being in trouble is a fake idea. It doesn't really mean anything. Trouble is just sort of a sensation, but it is a real sensation in the sense that it is a thing that we experience, and Undertale utilizes that. The fight against Toriel was, I mentioned this back when we first went through it, but I want to mention it again because I think it is brilliant how it does it. That the puzzle, if you think about it is a puzzle, but the solution to the puzzle is based on your patience as a person, you as a human sitting in your chair. It's based on your patience and your willingness to stick through and believe in your plan of action. That if you refuse to fight Toriel, it will work out. That you need to have faith in yourself that you can solve that puzzle by just holding out and not giving in. Well past the point where the dialogue has begun to repeat, and at the point where you're going to be going as a player, normally you're going to be saying, oh, well, and we see it all the time through this, that it's you hit a point where it's oh, dialogue's repeating, okay, move on. The procedure has hit its limit and is telling me, I am being given indicators that it's all right, you're done, this has been exhausted, move on. And that Toriel fight says it's no, we have given you information leading up to this point where we have said that it is possible to not engage in violence. We have assured you that it is possible to not engage in violence. Now test yourself and test your willingness to believe that over the normal signifiers that you normally encounter. So it gives you a video game signifier of repeating text that is in conflict with, or that signifies something that is in conflict with a previous bit of information, which is that you can not attack. You can choose to not attack. You can spare someone, so Frogget says, you can spare someone, and you will have to spare someone who, in a situation where they're not yellow. Like, their text is not yellow, and you can't just literally spare them. So these two conflicting bits of information are presented to you, and you have to make a choice. Which do you believe? Do you believe the signifiers of the game and the game language of repeating text and no clear forward progress? Or do you believe the social signifiers of what Frogget has told you? And by and large, Undertale succeeds because of how heavily it utilizes social signifiers in conflict with the game signifiers. And that's why people love it, and that's why they call it subversive. That's why they call it, challenging. And it is taking two different languages that we know, the language of video games and the language of social engagements, and placing them in contest against each other and seeing which ones you are going to believe when. And it's great, it's wonderful, and that's why it's able to be so impactful, is because it, by constantly calling attention to social signifiers that exist, in the language of how we relate to one another, it's able to activate that side of your brain, that side of your, the part of you that says, it's like, yeah, I want to buy into other people. I want to engage with other people. And once it's sort of reminded you of that humanity, it's really easy then for you as a person to buy into its characters and to fall in love with its characters and to, let them into you as an extension of, family. If it hadn't done that, if it had simply presented these characters, but without explicitly calling attention to the social signifiers that you would normally use when interacting with other humans, this would be a charming little game that would be a lot of people's favorites, and it would still be a really good game. It would not be a masterpiece. Like, it would not be a great game. It would be a good, charming indie game, a nice little RPG with a twist of like, hey, you can do sort of little puzzles to, you can do non-combat puzzles instead of fighting, and it gives you an alternate ending. And you'd be like, hey, that's cute, that's different. But by explicitly calling in those, hey, if you insult someone in real life, what are the consequences of that? Because in real life, we don't actually face video game style consequences for the things that we do. If I insult someone, the consequence really is just that I've hurt them. And this is the kind of thing that BioShock would have loved to be able to do, because BioShock, the first one, pivots so heavily on that sort of notion of like, hey, well, here's this worldview that fails to understand the human cost of its operation. And Undertale does sort of the same thing. It's like except it succeeds in reminding you of the human cost of your actions. That choosing to be friends with someone, well, what's the reward of choosing to be friends with someone? Well, you have a friend. You don't level up. You don't gain another, you don't gain another 40 MP and a new PK fire. You have a friend. You have someone that you can call. You have a place that you can go visit. You have people you can joke with and that you can laugh with. You have people who are gonna have your back later on. That is the reward of not being an asshole. And that's brilliant, and that's great, and it manages to tap into that so well. And I'm already sort of, I've already sort of tumbled across a few of the things that, like, the ways that they communicate that, and like, as people in the comments are pointing out, it's like you don't gain love, but you don't gain love the video game keyword, but you gain love. You don't gain XP, but and the brilliant little thing of like, it's like, okay, if you do the pacifist ending, you ended at level 1. because, you know, there is no video game reward from choosing friendship. It does not give you, you know, yes, you occasionally get like resources. You get money from befriending certain people, but you don't even get it all the time. It's not like, oh well, at the end of every single conflict, regardless of which one you chose, like, oh well, you get your XP and you get your gold. It's just sometimes maybe you get material resources from befriending people, but you never get XP. You don't get the video game convention. You then don't engage with that conceit at all. So yeah, no, it's been wonderful. It's been fantastic. I laughed, I cried, I was touched, my feels, my heart. I did not know. All right, let's back up a couple weeks to when Undertale was hitting everybody's game of the year. People had been talking about it for weeks. A lot of my friends liked it, and people was, you know, and I was seeing the anti-fans be like getting angry about people engaging with Undertale, and I was watching the I was watching the GameFAQs poll, and I was sort of at a position where I was like, okay, I am probably going to like this game, but I figured my level of engagement was honestly going to be about to the level of like BioShock Infinite. I really liked BioShock Infinite. Like, if you've seen my video on it, you know, I like BioShock Infinite. I think it's a great game, problems notwithstanding. And I can talk about it a lot, but that's kind of it. I really engaged with BioShock Infinite. I really liked it. End of story. So I expected to come out of Undertale saying that it's like, oh yeah, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a really, you know, I was assuming I was going to think that it's like, oh well, it's probably going to be pretty smart. It's probably going to be charming. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm gonna want to recommend it to other people. Game of the year, yes, no, maybe. Sure, we can, you know, figuring that we could kind of agree, you know. I wouldn't be surprised that it's on people's Game of the Year list, but, you know, yeah, whatever. If you don't, you know, fair enough. Now that I've finished it, if this isn't on your Game of the Year list, you're a monster. Just, you know, I'm being a little bit facetious when I say that, but not a whole ton facetious. Like, if this is not on your Game of the Year list, you are a monster. This is just fabulous and brilliant, and one of the best games, and most impacting and honest and charming and spirited and heartfelt and heartwarming and touching and sincere games to have come out in really ever. It has gained a reputation that it in every way deserves, and just kudos, absolute kudos to all the people who made it. So, yeah. So now, actually, here we go. Now, here I guess is a tempering thing. Noelle is pointing out in the chat that it really does require video game literate people. Yes. This is going to be a fair criticism, and this would be maybe the one thing, you know, not everything is perfect. I mean, and yeah, not everything is perfect. Everything ultimately has its flaws, and Undertale does require you to speak the languages that it is in. Like, if you don't speak the language, Undertale is not going to do the greatest job of introducing you to the language. Is that technically a flaw? Yes. Am I going to hold that against it? No, because while it does put it in a position that it is not for everyone, that is just the simple reality of things. You know, there is absolutely fantastic filmmaking coming out of Czechoslovakia that I have trouble engaging with because I don't speak Czech. And wait, did I say Czechoslovakia? Czech Republic. There was actually some great filmmaking coming out of Czechoslovakia back when Czechoslovakia still existed. You know, there's a great filmmaking coming out of the Czech Republic that I have trouble engaging with, or that I don't find fully impacting because I don't speak the literal language of Czech, and I don't speak the cultural language of Czech, of the Czech Republic. And so, you know, there is that barrier there to engagement with it. So that's just kind of the reality of art, that all art has limitations in terms of who is going to be able to really well and truly engage with it. I would say, however, that this is still, while it does require that literacy, it is not so dense in it that it's impossible to learn. And I would almost argue, well, having someone help you through it, I have to think on that. The idea of of what's it going to be like if someone helps you through it. I think a lot of the in jokes, like the anime in jokes and tsundere, I think that stuff is auxiliary enough that the core value is not going to be lost if someone doesn't get those jokes. You know, the overall tone and the overall core to it, and what we were talking about earlier, that here's a thing that I almost feel bad about. I really want to recommend Undertale to people in the broad terms that I would normally describe it in, except I can't. Because if I tell someone, if I give it that sort of logline of oh, it's this great story about a community coming to grips with loss, that's a massive spoiler. That, you know, you are then revealing this huge sort of endgame culmination from the beginning, and I would consider that to be a spoiler, because the game doesn't admit to you that that's what it's about until very, very late in, even if it's alluding to it. You know, it foreshadows that sensation, but it is actively misdirecting you from making that conclusion until you reach the very end. So that's kind of tricky for me, because I really feel it's hey, this is the terms that I want to couch it in. This is the terms that I want to pitch it in, but I can't. I don't feel I feel like by telling someone that, I am robbing them of joy that they don't know they would get to experience otherwise. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. I think as my immediate sort of I am super hyped right now. I am mega hyped right now. I am hyped on it right now, and I will definitely tone down, I will definitely tone down some of my calling people monsters for not inhuman, calling people inhuman for not immediately having it be the greatest game ever. But I'm in a mood right now where that just kind of feels good to say. It's not true. There are a lot of legitimate reasons for someone to kind of back away from it. Especially if they screw up going through, that definitely could is going to have an impact. And there's I was actually talking with a friend going into this, or not going into this, on the way home this evening, where it's only about 10 hours, but 10 hours is still a pretty decent amount, and 10 hours assumes that you're at least okay at the bullet hell stuff, and it assumes that you've got a clear idea of what you want to do from the outset. Like, this is still, I think if you were going in totally blind, like if you just said like, hey, you know, Mom, here's a great game. Yes, it's going to run on, it's going to run on your 6-year-old laptop. You know, you don't know a whole lot about it, but I think you'll really enjoy it. If you just put it in a situation like that, you are probably looking at 20 hours, 20 to 25 hours just to kind of get really to the impactful stuff. And that's, that is definitely a limitation. I am torn on what to kind of say about that, because on one hand, it could be shorter. On the other hand, I'm okay with it being as long as it is. 10 hours. So for the people that it is really aimed at, 10 hours is about perfect, but it doesn't, this is kind of looping back on myself, and I'm kind of repeating myself, but I think if anything is going to be a mark off it, or is going, is that it isn't quite as universal as the theoretical best game ever actually would be. The theoretical best game ever, which does not exist. And in that regard, actually, the best game ever... No, it's not Portal. I was going to say it's Portal because it's really super accessible, humor and concept-wise, except that's not entirely true because the mechanics, like the physical playing of first-person shooter-style controls of like WASD and the mouse controls and mouse looking around, that physical language is actually really hard. And for people who don't know it, particularly people who are like already a little bit older and not super inclined towards it, it is not accessible at all, and that's kind of unfortunate. So yeah, I think for the video game community, it is absolutely, like, I would actually still maintain like that is still one of the best games to come along in ages and ages and ages. Tetris probably, someone in the chat is saying that Tetris is the best game ever, and that's probably actually true. It is a really challenging, it is a highly scalable puzzle game that maintains challenge at a lot of different levels, and it's eminently accessible. So, yeah. So Tetris is the best game ever. We have solved it. Pack up. We're done. Games are done. Yeah. I think I'm rambling now. I think this is interesting, but it's also getting kind of circular. I saw chat mentioning something that if I quit the game right now and reloaded it, something would happen. I don't know what, but something is waiting for me when I relaunch, and I am not sure if I want to see that now or if I want it to be a thing to haunt me as I come back and start a genocide run. Now, a lot of people, let's talk about the genocide run real quick. I am going to do the genocide run, and a lot of people, I'm going to take the hit for you. I can handle it. I can handle it. Emotionally, I am resilient enough that I can get through a genocide run, and so I will do it. I will take the hit for you, so that you can experience it without needing to do it yourself. It will be hard. We will get through it together. We will be terrible together. Or I will be terrible, and you can sit on the sidelines and look horrified. And yeah, I almost feel like, now this becomes an interesting question. Like, should you genocide first? Now, people were talking about the endings that like you basically get the neutral ending one way or another, and I don't know. Or is it possible to get the like full genocide ending from the word go? Is it best to like start with genocide and then, because like then you need to like start over from the beginning, and that's another 10 hours. So it ends up being what, like 20 hours in order to complete both sort of major branches or more? I don't know. How long does genocide take? So I don't know. Everybody's saying you're going to need a guide, Dan. The requirements are very strict. Terrible idea to genocide first. Definitely don't genocide first. Starting with genocide is a bad idea. You will see it is the one wrong way to play Undertale. I would recommend not starting with genocide. I don't. Okay, all right. Everybody is. It's a bad idea if you have feelings. And see, now this is going back. This is going back to the. Okay, now people are saying that there's actual like mechanical reasons that make it untenable. There's a reasons why No Mercy is a bad way to start. You'll learn them. Hard to answer without spoiling the crap out of things. It should be neutral, pacifist, genocide, pacifist rerun. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so that's a lot of some interesting insight there, and I will look into that, or rather, I guess I won't look into it. I will discover it. So now, what I was going right. I had this train of thought that I was going to say is that people's responses to me saying that whole genocide thing is that half the responses are very much based in the social cue element of it. Like, no, don't do it. It will destroy your feelings. It is very difficult emotionally. And yet other people are focusing on the mechanical aspect, that it's like, well, no, it's actually really tricky and really deliberate, and you need to go out of your way to do specific things. So yeah, that will be interesting. Red Sun 47 has a good point. Undertale is interesting in that kind of is designed for you to have foreknowledge while playing it, or at least it feels like it does. Yes. Okay, we're not going to end the stream because we're going to talk about that. Undertale, this ties into all of this other stuff that we've been talking about, because Undertale assumes that it is being played as part of a greater community. That people are sharing their experiences, that people are talking about it, that people are spoiling it, but that people are willing to engage with one another about their experiences. It is aware that, like, people are going to be, they're going to be filling up wikis, they're going to be filling up subreddits, they're going to be tweeting about it, they're going to be starting Tumblrs, they're going to be starting art blogs, they're going to be making fan art, they're going to be making fan fiction, they're going to be making their own dissection videos, they're going to be putting guides on YouTube. It is aware that that is an environment that exists out, like, around it, and it is accessing that. It is tapping into that social element in order to, really amp up the engagement. It is using, and you do it instinctively, because again, the game is activating those social cues. It is getting you thinking in those terms, and it is getting, so it's taking these things, it's taking these events and these challenges and these problems, and it is placing them in the context of friendship and communication and asking questions, and not just accepting not just accepting reality as presented as absolute. And so when you're already in that mindset, it's a natural sort of leap to make, that it's like, oh, I've hit a problem. It is well and good for me to go ask someone for help, or like to look up an answer, to look up a solution, to ask someone like, hey, I'm kind of stuck here, and to then share that stuff and to pool knowledge and to cooperate on coming up with solutions and figuring out where all of the little tidbits are hidden. And Undertale is more than just itself, and maybe that's a long-term sort of issue. Like maybe Undertale won't have the bite that it does 20 years from now. Like the 20 years from now, people will look back on Undertale, and it will be kind of a social phenomenon rather than a thing that continues to stand. You know, it's not going to be a movie. It's going to be a movie like Blair Witch more than a movie like Chinatown. Chinatown, you watch it now and you get out at the end and you go, oh, I see why this movie is a big deal. Shawshank Redemption, you come out and you're like, oh, I see why this is a big deal. Big Lebowski, I see why this is a big deal. The Blair Witch Project, you watch it now and you're like, okay, that was something, you know. Wasn't the worst movie I'd ever seen, not the best. Because Blair Witch Project is about a point in time. It's about a marketing, you know, it's about a marketing campaign. It's about the internet. It's about the way that the social phenomenon of Blair Witch spread and thus impacted people's experience of the movie. There is a risk that Undertale will be more of a Blair Witch than a Big Lebowski. That is a risk. I don't think it will be quite that bad. I think Undertale, as a self-contained thing, helps you discover it. That even though 20 years from now, someone who wants to truly discover it will probably need to kind of go through a 40-hour process of figuring out a lot of stuff for themselves. But in the end, I think it is still self-contained enough to succeed and to persist. So yeah. And yeah, I think I need to go make some fan art now or something. I don't know. I should actually just go really take all of this and write it down into a little bit more cohesive of a summary, strip out the spoilers that I can, or maybe just make a totally spoilerific. Actually, I should probably, that's really what I should do. I should make a nice spoilerific little thing talking about Undertale. And yeah. So I think we'll leave it there for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. Friends of Dogs and Monsters, go now. Have a good night. Happy New Year. Happy 2016. Something, 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 something.